Hello, welcome to Metalhead Nation Garage. I'm Chris, your host. Hey, give us a thumbs up and subscribe to the channel. We start off the news today. It's pretty sad news. Jeff Beck, one of the greatest guitarists ever, passed away yesterday. It was announced. I believe he died January 10th, but it was announced late last night. But Jeff Beck, great guitarist. We'll just go through the history with him. Today, I was fortunate enough to catch him a couple years ago. Was Paul Rogers, Jeff Beck, and Ann Wilson of Hard. It was a tour they did. And man, I was just impressed with him. Just the way he plays the guitar. It's a unique style. I mean, it's incredible. He was incredibly talented. I mean, and he played in a lot of bands. I mean, he played in the Yardbirds first, but we'll start off with the Jeff Beck group. That was back in 1967. They was founded, and it was it was Jeff Beck, Rod Stewart, Ron Wood, and started that out very successful. Had a slew of hits back in that day, and and that's where Rod Stewart really got his voice gathered up and under him in this group. And Rod, he always talks great of the group. Still today, an unofficial news of it was, he was wanting to get back with Jeff Beck here just 3 or 4 years ago. Rod was kind of doing his big band albums and tours and things, and he wanted to get back together, but Jeff Beck for some reason didn't want to do it. And I don't think there was any arguments with them or disapproval with each other or what have you. Maybe it just didn't work out for Jeff Beck. But with this group here with Ron Wood, can you imagine that Jeff Beck and Ron Wood in the same band, which Beck just blows Ron Wood away. But they just had some great hits back here in the 60s, Heart for Soul, the song for Miss Hetty, I Put a Spell on You. It was, just Green Sleeves, just it goes on. It's a ton of hits there. And, led by Jeff for sure. I mean, he was a great songwriter through the years, till up to the day he had passed away. This Jeff Beck group, it was just incredible back then, and it didn't sound, and that's the thing, these bands in the 60s, when they came up, they sounded like the Beatles. That's what they tried to sound like. Rolling Stones in the 60s tried to sound like the Beatles, and then they finally changed in the 70s, but they all did. Even the Who, they sounded like the Beatles, and they all had their haircuts like them too. So Beatles was really, big. They was big, no doubt about it, and a lot of people that was their heroes, the Beatles. So but Jeff Beck never did sound like the Beatles. He sounded like Jeff Beck. And and before the Jeff Beck group, there was a super group, we can say. It was the Yardbirds, that consisted of Jimmy Page with Jeff Beck, Jim McCarty, and Keith Relf. And he was a big one, and later on, Eric Clapton came in here. So the Yardbirds at that time, just think of this. They gave 3 great guitarists, that they spawned them off. Jimmy Page went to Zeppelin, Jeff Beck doing his thing, Eric Clapton, Cream, so it was really, the Yardbirds was a great band, a good super group back in the 60s. And that's just, and that's how long he's been. Like I said, Jeff Beck, he's toured and up late, I think November of 22, and just a great talent. You know, he was in Spinal Tap too. A lot of people don't know that. I mean, if you like Spinal Tap, but he was in on that. And another big, we could call it a super group, or I will, the Honeydrippers, where he met up with Robert Plant and Jimmy Page again. And they did an album in the 80s. So, and it was good. I mean, I liked it. I mean, they had some great songs on that too. You know, The Sea of Love, I Get a Thrill, Young Boy Blues, I really like. And, you know, do yourself a favor with Jeff Beck. You know, Spotify some of his music. And I'll tell you one I really like, probably one of the best ones I like. And, it is with Rod Stewart. They reunited in 1985, and it was "People Get Ready." Great song. I mean, put that on Spotify tonight or tomorrow morning on your way to work. It's a great song, and you know, it's just one of them. You know, you can think back and look at Jeff Beck's history and how he just his talent. You know, he could play anything, you know, rock, blues. I mean, he's on Ozzy's new album with Patient Number 9, which is really great song, you know, that Jeff Beck played on. I mean, it really, pretty heavy song, you know, surprising. And a lot of people, if you listen to Jeff Beck before, probably wouldn't think that was him playing. But he was really incredible talent, you know, arguably one of the greatest guitarists ever. You know, just depends, you know, who you like, who you want, and you know, innovative, you know, what have you. The style he plays is really unique, and he's really good. So we'll miss him, and thank God, you know, I even recorded that, got that on film when he was down here in Cincinnati. Thank goodness, man, because I'll have it forever, and that's pretty cool. And you know, on to some other news. We talking about the other day, Twisted Sister Dee Snider came out with kind of dissing Dio and Robert Plant, and I was wondering, you know, hey, what's going on? And they're going to get back together, or they're going to release an album or something? Well, here it is. Twisted Sister will reunite for an awards show. So yeah, they're going to reunite for a show. They say one night, but hey, you never know. It's not. They say a one-off one, but hey, you get back in it and you start liking it. It may turn into a tour. But yeah, and some other big news there. Genesis is releasing a massive box set. So it's a 53 track, 5 CDs, you know, 24 track, 3 LPs. Golly, it's an incredible one. So has a lot. It does have Peter Gabriel and Phil Collins. So and Ray Wilson, their first lead singer. So big Genesis fan. I like him. It's a coming out, and be looking out for it. Don't have no price on it. Yeah, I'm sure it'd be a little pricey, but be well worth it if you're a fan, for sure. Another one is Quiet Riot released a video for I Can't Hold On. It's really climbing the charts there. If you haven't heard it, please Spotify that and let me know what you think of it. I think it's one of their best songs ever. I really like it. They really dug deep for this song. So check Quiet Riot out there and tell me what you think of it. And also give me your stories, you know, standing vertical on some Jeff Beck music that you like and some of the ones you have played in before. I'm interested in that, to hear from you on Jeff Beck, because I know you're a guitarist. But hey, that'll be it for today's edition. We'll be back tomorrow. Again, subscribe to the channel. Give us a thumbs up.